answer that?
Again, reclaiming my time, I would simply ask directly if the senator could either object or not object, let me know, and also help us identify any specific objections that may exist on the minority side. But in closing, Mr. President, I would just say, again, it's very clear to me, having spent a week working on this, that we either do this today and tomorrow, or we do nothing and go home for 10 days and give no relief to these communities and these parishes which so desperately need the help. I vote for doing something. I vote for leading. I vote for helping in a meaningful and concrete way the people of Southeast Louisiana, and urge all my colleagues to please join me in that effort. And I yield back my time.
Senator from Alaska is recognized.
Mr. President, there are discussions going on concerning the future of this bill and what time we may be able to vote and dispose of the bill. I did try to go to third reading to make sure that we wouldn't have amendments coming in here that at the last minute would require members to come back into the Senate to vote at this time. I want to say that I don't have any problem about the exchange between the senators from Louisiana. They do have a very difficult proposition, and I'm not going to get into that at this time, but I will say this, that the arrangement the senator from Louisiana, the junior senator, has made is much better than we got after the great earthquake in Alaska in 1964. And I think that people ought to realize that while the numbers of people involved in this great disaster from Katrina and disaster Rita, we've had massive disasters such as our earthquake and our great flood and the typhoons in Hawaii. This is not something that's new. The number of people may be greater, but the type of disaster is not any greater. I would hope that we'd have a chance to finish the conversations that the leadership is having, and we can find some way to deal with the situation and let people know what time and if we're going to be allowed to vote on this very important bill that should go to conference before we go home. I suggest the absence of quorum.
The clerk will call the roll.
Mr. President, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading of the roll.
Is there objection?
I object.
There is objection.
Mr. Alexander.